have the least resources. And so that's what the Moodlebox does. So I was looking at that and trying to figure out how it works and how we can apply it. And I happened on LinkedIn to meet up with Peter Amoabil, who lives in Tamale, Ghana. And he has started several years ago, a nonprofit to acquire resources for his school and the neighboring schools in his northern suburb part of Tamale. And we connected and I chatted. I said, would you be interested in looking at maybe using this technology device? And he said, yes, let's try it. And it's just been delightful working with him. He's an incredible, talented, innovative teacher that is just so dedicated. And he has helped me learn how to apply this in classrooms. So we've built this over the year, and we, as Catherine pointed out, we tried various devices. But one of the issues we struggled with is what was the best device to use with students to access the Moodlebox in the classroom. And we ended up, after experimenting with cell phones and various other and laptops, settling on a 10-inch tablet, which we were able to acquire in Tamale. And then, so we developed that device. And then I started showing Peter how to add content onto the Moodlebox so the students could access it. And we then found African Storybook, which is a phenomenal organization that was founded by SADI, the South African Institute for Distance Education, several years ago. And it's probably one of the largest OER repositories that lots of people at OE Global don't know about, primarily because it's all early literacy, primary books, picture books. But we're able to download those, put them on the Moodlebox, and the students loved seeing them. They're bright in color. And then Peter found that on African Storybook, they actually have books in Dagbani. I'd never heard of the Kingdom of Dagbani, which has been in existence for many centuries. And it's the area around Tamale, and all of the people in that area speak Dagbani. Well, that's their first language. And he was able to find books on African Storybook in Dagbani, which he was able to put onto the Moodlebox. So now the students are looking at their mother tongue in books on their devices, which is phenomenal for them. I mean, these are students who had never had a device in their hands, who their families don't own electronic devices. There is not internet available in the area. So now when these fifth graders can look at their mother tongue on their own devices, this is like a wow. This is big. Not only that, but we can take the books that are on African Storybook in English and translate them into Dagbani. So that's just a matter of finding. I tried it I tried doing it with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT doesn't get Dagbani. So we're relying on people to do the translating. But and then we go on to add assessments, because that's one of the things about the learning management systems, is that you can also add assessments. Because as a teacher, we know that just presenting the book to the student is only the first step. You know, has the student actually read the book? Do they understand it? What are their misunderstandings as they're reading the book? This is true at every level of education. We have to find out what the student understands. So we use the assessment tools in the learning management system to do that. Because it's open source and because the content is all OER, we can translate it into Dagbani. The teacher can modify it for the specific needs of their students. We don't have to rely on, the legacy publishers to provide us with the assessment. The teacher can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you an example of that at some point here too, how we can actually do that. But I'll pause and let you ask a question.
I just think it's worth explaining this situation that exists in Ghana and South Africa of as I understand it, of mandating education in local languages, which is commendable, but leaving teachers to figure it out on their own. And so what do teachers typically do when they're forced to do this, and what are they able to do now?
Catherine, do you want to speak to that a bit?
I can't. Sure. I can't really speak so much for the Ghanaian situation, but in South Africa, we have 11 different official languages. And only quite recently have we really realized the impact of not starting in your in your mother tongue. We also, and